For a Whopper. Oh! Banana. Oh.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Ooh.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. Stanley was happy.
Before...
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
Thanks to hosting up, Dad.
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor.
Thanks to hosting Dad.
No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation.
My God, I love your
Something
dad
was
emote.
very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, I control it now. Well, anyway, I need to give some shout-outs out. Okay, my Stream Deck has not loaded the plugin. No, it's not loading the plugin. Anyway, another banana. You guys need to follow Mega. You guys need to follow Matasaur. And you guys need to follow Zephora. Go give them heckin' follows. Or else I'll shit. I'm gonna morb. I'll morb if you don't. Shit. Machine King. Oh, no, no, no. Stanley... Is Stanley Garfield? Because... Mondays. Is any of this lore I meant to read? Don't think so. I don't have a morb command. Is the mega command working? I changed it. Oh. Oh, I know what I've done. Let me just quickly fix the mega command.
Balls.
Balls. Forgot to update it when I...
Okay, Kusaki, listen.
Okay, so... It works now.
Toast before house.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Have a good one, Gregory. Wait. Hi, Kevin. What? No. Also, no spoilers because I don't know what I'm
came
doing.
to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What if I don't do that?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I do need egg. I have this. Jesus.
Look at this little fella on it. Have you seen this? He's got sunglasses on. Stop! How do you keep getting it? It's over here.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Oh look, it's the skooma mug. Slash scribbly noodle mug. #1 dad.
Yes, really. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Pocket sand.
Pocket sand! As in dad energy, not dad as in dad.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oh my god. The fucking mega squeak, I didn't expect it to be that loud.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Jump off and
I'm
die.
not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but
I can't
you
squeak like that.
all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone... Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
I need a sound for you, Matt. Actually, I might just make it the egg. I don't think I meant to go this way. Hose before hose. Think away.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Blue door, got it.
Hose before hose.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood.
Whoa!
Stanley walked through the red door.
Nah, fuck it, blue door.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
I think he wants me to walk through the red door.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You
Nothing!
see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into this? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go.
Oh!
A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Should I do it, chat? Should I go to this new door? Alright, I'm fucking doing it.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did
What an
I
amazing
know
man.
the game needed
It
a
is
third
third door.
Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came
What
from.
would
except
happen
that
if I went to the other two
I
doors?
felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley.
Are you telling me
Don't
there's
even try.
infinite possibilities with this game?
Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
What? Oh. I'm last.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
What?
In this game, the baby
Jesus.
goes left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right. And if he
The fish is a
reaches the
baby?
fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands
Oh, no,
of
my
family
carrots.
life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep
Oh,
notes
no, my
on your
carrots.
experience. You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might
It's
improve
Leslie.
the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your
What?
input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we
I'm
play
a
someone
cat.
else's game?
Meow.
Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes.
I'm a
This
cat.
seems like it'll
Meow.
work. Let's give it a shot. Aha! Fascinating.
What?
What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is
I'm
our
literally playing the
motivation?
lookout. What?
Well, it seems obvious
Hi,
to me that
Glasswell.
you're meant to play as a creepy man, spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating
Firewatch,
venture into the
okay, yeah.
experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
I'm playing another game within the Stanley Parable. What the fuck? Is there no jump button? Yeah, I've never played this before, Glassell, by the way.
Oh no. No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
Oh!
Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any...
He really doesn't like open
Thank
world.
heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Nice big walls.
Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Gap in the... Oh. Is this fucking Rocket League?
See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball?
Sports
Stanley,
ball?
I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
I gotta do it. Come on.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if... Hold on. What are you doing?
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back. We still have so
much... What am I... Bro, I just started this game! So, yeah, I'm in the back room. Oh, it's my office.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion.
They were.
That's
Hi,
who I
Palfia.
am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
I got an ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his
Alright,
left.
let's humor the narrator. I'll go to the left.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find
Is it
an
the
answer
white
there.
board manager or the white board manager? Hire someone to synergize paper. Papers are too synergized. Fire paper guy. Hire somebody to fire the paper guy synergizing. Ugh! How dare you, Helena? Who moved my desk? Please keep the targets. Oh. Guys, you should go follow Classwell. Game. Please no more charts. I'm begging. Stop, stop, stop.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Okay, Chris is not in the broom closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Cookie! The red light was intriguing me. Oh, Jesus.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk?
In this
All because
economy?
he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All
What?
of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh!
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought.
What?
And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley.
As if...
After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just...
Oh, fucking hell.
He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
Ultra
So he
Deluxe.
closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
I'm not okay.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Whoa!
This is the story of a
Dude, is this a
woman
super?
named Diana.
Thanks for the dab. Thanks for the host
Diana
coffee,
woke
dude.
up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she had soon
What?
tried to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Oh, fucking hell. What doesn't he
Co-workers
ever
had
shut
gone.
up?
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
420.
simply missed a memo. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way. When Stanley came to a set of two open
No, I
doors,
didn't. Fuck
this was
you.
not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the
pizza.
employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Bless you, Mixie. Didn't go through this one.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
No, fuck you. I use a razor death adder both here and at
But
home.
Stanley
It
didn't
says,
want
"Hi,
to go
Mixie."
back to the office. He wanted to
We heard you
wander
from
about
the sneak.
and get even further off track. So now, in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
I can't.
No,
Yeah.
no, not the right. Why would I have ever said it
But
was
at
to
least
the
it's bless you.
right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Whoa.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm?
No.
Okay, from the top.
No.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then.
Bro, what the fuck's happening?
Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Banana. Oh.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Yeah, back rooms.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Hilarious. Oh.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
You just went that way. What the fuck?
Now this, well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize
Jesus
this place at
fucking
all.
Christ,
Is
Moisture.
this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what?
Another banana.
Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really
I
paid
won.
off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this.
No, but
at
I
all.
won.
We both know you didn't put in any actual
Oh,
work for that
fuck
win.
off.
Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart. All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost,
Hi,
I've
Luna.
employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that? No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
Really?
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story?
Yes.
Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of
What?
life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential
I don't
mental
know.
subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Oh! That's all. Thank you for the sub to Pally.
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
You guys remembering this? You guys remembering this? I get what? I get what? You're a cutie, Luna. Luna! Fucking... Thanks for the 5 gift subs. What the fuck? Oh, sorry. Study it. Yeah, I got it. Right, chat. I really drink this in. We gotta. Looking. I'm looking. You looking? I'm studying it with my eyeballs. I'm looking. Type twice.
Wait, we're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Whee!
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And
Really?
after we
That's what
trusted
the vibe
you,
gives us, what
after
the fuck?
everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
I'll restart again. Welcome in, Spirit Ferret. I have restarted again. Ow! Look, little skateboarding Kusaki.
Stanley, I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Yeah, alright. Little skateboarding
Yes,
Kusaki.
This is exciting. Just me and Stanley
Thanks for
forging
the
a new path,
strip check.
a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild.
Luna, thank you for
Use
the
your
5 gifts. What the
imagination.
fuck?
Whatever it might be, Stanley.
Guys, went straight off
I'm
level
ready
fucking
for
5
it.
hype trip. What the hell? You guys are
Oh,
nuts.
no, not
Whoa.
again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line.
Glasswell, thank you for the 8 gifts. What the fuck, guys?
No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
I'm not just playing. I'm just a scrunkly little guy playing games. What do you think you're doing?
Scream scrambly, scream scrunk.
Exactly. I'm fucking shook.
Ah, a choice. We
Scream
get to make a
scrambly,
decision.
scream scrunk.
From here, the story is in our control.
Is it?
How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn
Ow.
means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin.
How dare you bonk me?
So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Okay, Kusaki, listen.
I'm a cat. Meow. I want to go to the left door. Ugh.
Hold up, what's this? The conclusion ending.
You
You're
picked the wrong
telling me
door, Glasswell.
That's
Thank
what
you for the
this
100
is.
biddies.
It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget?
Thanks
My
for the
mind goes
follow.
blank
Call me
simply because
rude,
it's
were
written
you?
here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't
don't restart
do
the
it.
game, then.
I won't do it. I won't
Don't do it then. Bro, don't do it. I'm
Timer stopped?
don't
Does that
do
mean-
it.
Did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So,
Meow.
I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
What?
All of his co-workers were gone.
Nice.
What could it
Thanks
mean?
to 69 biddy.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime.
Okay, I definitely picked the wrong meeting door.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley.
Thank you for the pats, I just killed myself.
Powerful.
In the game.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I got game of the thing, so I'll do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Alright, I've done my squats.
He's just standing there, menacingly.
Don't let your kids watch this. I want to see what's on the other side of the fucking...
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and
You know how I
Stanley
jumped
knew
off
perfectly
last time? I
well.
want to see what's on the other
Perhaps
side
he
of
wanted
the
to
thing.
stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really.
Yeah, I like
that
my chat.
investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Who? Who? Who?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
What? Oh, jeez.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to...
My way.
Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all
Unplug the
about
phone. Oh.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Glasswell, thank you for the gifts. Fucking, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Hang on.
And I'm Kanye West.
Yeah, the best command I've ever seen. Dackle, if I press this button, that means we're hanging out.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths.
Glasswell, thank you for the gifts out of Simon.
Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over.
Okay, Kusaki,
I've never played this
That
before.
it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Scream scrambly, scream scrunk.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed.
I'm a
The
cat.
longer he spends
Meow.
here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real
Oh no,
one.
my carrots.
And I'm trying to tell him this. That in this world he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Alright. Let's not do it. I am doing pretty good, thank you. How about you?
Hey, what are you doing in here? I said don't come in here when we're recording. I'm wearing my Simpsons shirt.
Well, what do I do now? I don't want to press the button. He said don't press the button. Do I just begin the game from the beginning?
Meow.
Does that work?
Squimbly, scrambly, scrunkly.
Richer.
Did I press it?
I'm a fox.
It does feel like it's getting loud.
Okay, Kusaki, listen.
Ow. Why need to add a cooldown for the commands?
Richer.
People keep pressing it. Like a lot. Simply cease to do anything? Alright.
Toes before hose.
Hi, Pavan.
Squimbly, scrambly, scrumbly.
Jesus! I'm getting rid of the squeal. I'm getting rid of the squeal. I love you, Mega. I'm getting rid of the squeal. The squeal gives me a fright. I can't do the Mega Squeal. I can't do it. Ugh. It scares the shit out of me, though. Oh yeah, I haven't added you yet, Force. What do I do? I don't want to press the button. Surely there's a way for me to get out of here. Surely there's a way for me to get out of here. Oh god. Yeah, I'm pressing space and it ain't working. You can't jump. You get your first achievement. Also, I don't have shadow clips. Fuck, I want to press the button. But it said not to.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him
I
to
haven't
see
played
what
this at
I
all,
see?
Puffin.
How can I make him look at himself?
No, I've never had shadow clips before.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
I'm really messing with this narrator. I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna try that again, and this time I'm not gonna answer the phone.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room? A connection between the two? Could a man love a room? I mean, truly, deeply, madly love.
Was that a Savage Garden reference?
Yes, really. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I know I haven't tried it yet.
At following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. Oh, no, you can't. Did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instruction.
I made him mad.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30?
My goodness.
I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
What?
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally,
A back
if you
crack
begin
and
to wonder
sack.
if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Back crack and sack means waxing.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
I don't think I meant to do that. Should I? No. Should I? No. Should I jump? No, I already know what the falling death anyway. So. Meow.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction.
Oh!
Perhaps we're not too late.
Hope everyone in chat is annoyed that I keep going in the wrong fucking door. Hi, Amy! Look at it all!
Smoke, smoke every day. Smoke, smoke every day. Smoke, smoke every day. Smoke, smoke every day. Smoke weed. Every day. Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day.
Kusaki, you're messing up the story. Am I? Ow!
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever.
Content, exactly.
I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work?
Yes.
I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Oh, God. What have I done? Holy shit.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see?
Yes.
Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He
Yes.
actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He
No, he doesn't,
understands that if
'cause
I
he's
say
me.
to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child.
Wow.
Oh, my story.
My story.
If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious.
I'm sure I
It would
would
have
have.
been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just
No, I'm
follow
not.
my lead and you'll be fine. All right.
No, I'm not.
When Stanley
Thanks,
came
the host,
to a
Ronnie.
set of 2 open doors,
He entered the door on the right.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley
Thanks for the
would.
follow,
That
Todd
means
Martin.
choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his
On the
left.
right.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing
How many
responsibly.
do I get an
always
achievement for
putting
doing
the
this as many
story
times?
first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door.
The door on
his
the
left.
right.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
It's going quicker now. Have you noticed that?
That means choosing responsibly and
It's
always putting
shutting
the
me
story
down
first.
faster
I'm
every
quite sure
time.
you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
The door on the right.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would.
Oh my
That
god.
means
I don't
choosing
think there's
responsibly
anything more
and always
there.
putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the
Ugh.
task. Just follow my lead and you'll be
Fine.
fine. All right.
Fine.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Fine.
he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked
Wow,
upstairs
they've
to
blocked
his
off the
boss's
downstairs.
office.
Yeah, they had enough of me.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Night Shark 115.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115.
Night
He
Shark
spoke it into the
115.
receiver right there on the wall.
Night Shark 115.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you?
Sit.
Please speak the code.
Night
into the
Shark
receiver.
115.
Otherwise, we
Night
can't get on with the
Shark
story.
115.
This is a crucial step.
Night Shark 115. Night Shark.
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far. Only
I'm
for you
saying
to suddenly
it.
decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story
I'm literally
seriously.
saying it.
If you didn't want to see
What?
what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way?
There's literally no mic setting. Peachy.
Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you
I'm
coward.
fucking talk.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Oh.
he entered the door.
Waar zo thanks for the gifts at the Favada.
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me?
Meow.
All right. Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make at this time...
Run!
I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything.
Welcome on Reddit. I'm Kusaki. I'm a Friday video game free streamer and DJ. How was your stream, Grant? Today I'm playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. I've never played this game before.
Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay.
What do I do? I was Hitman.
Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
The icy thing work? Hang on. Try it again, icy. Being a bit buggy.
Get in the maid outfit, Kusaki. Have a nice day.
That's
Get in the
really...
maid outfit, Kusaki. Have a nice day.
That doesn't seem to be doing it. You know what? You know what?
Go suck a lemon.
Oh, go suck a lemon. Okay, fine. Where are the uwoos? I originally made it so that only Icy would be able to do it, but it's not. The command's not working. You know what? You know what? Ow! I did connect it. It's connected. You know what? There you guys go. You all get it. You all get it. There are now 17 uwoos to take advantage of.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Have a nice day.
Fuck. Oh! Guys!
Get in the maid outfit, Kusaki. Have a nice day.
Oh, new
Get in the
content.
maid outfit, Kusaki.
Okay, Kusaki, listen.
New content.
Have a nice
Guys, I got new content!
Get in the maid outfit,
Have a nice
day.
Go suck a
Get in the
lemon.
maid outfit, Kusaki.
Go suck a lemon.
Okay, I don't know if this was a good idea.
Have a nice
Okay,
day.
Kusaki,
Get in the
listen.
maid outfit, Kusaki. Have a nice day. Have a nice day.
Hello, and thank you for playing with the
Whoa!
Stanley
Guys,
Parable
guys.
Ultra Deluxe.
Guys!
Have a nice day. The Stanley Parable was a video game
Guys,
released in
guys.
2013
Oh.
on home computers.
Something's happening.
Receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Okay.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving
Great new
somewhere?
content, guys.
Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Thanks for the scratches.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
My God. You can only jump in the jump circle.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness.
Yeah, but it was only in the jump
Another
circle.
Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content, and oh wait, there's more. Very good.
Very good.
I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills. No
I'm going to
bumps.
cancel them on
Just you and me
Twitter.com.
having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Hey, wait.
Stanley, come over here.
Hey, wait.
In the vent.
Hey, wait.
I
don't want
show
a
you
vent.
Something.
Hey, wait.
Oh,
Wait.
you don't want to see the cool surprise
Get in the
I
maid
made for
outfit,
you? Well,
Kusaki.
fine.
Get in the maid outfit, Kusaki.
Never mind. You're not a dog.
Get in the maid outfit, Kusaki. Get in the maid outfit, Kusaki.
Coffee nut.
Get in the maid outfit, Kusaki.
Oh my god, this was a mistake.
Get in the maid outfit, Kusaki. Have a nice day.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special. Tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just
Get in the maid
our
outfit,
little
Kusaki.
secret.
Have a good one, Grant.
Take a look.
Have a nice day.
Oh my god, Peachy. Peachy.
Get in the maid outfit, Kusaki.
It's your guys' stream now. Have fun, it's your guys' stream now. I'm done.
Oh no, my carrots. Oh no, my carrots. Oh no, my carrots. Oh no, my carrots.
Okay, Kusaki, listen.
Play the damn game! Oh my god. Thanks for the
I
fart.
call it the memory zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched?
I'm a
Back
cat.
then, video
Meow.
games had integrity. Back then,
The Last
it
of
all
Us.
meant something.
Stanley Parable.
Richer.
Go suck a lemon.
$1.
Okay, Kusaki, listen.
Oh my god! Thanks for the 20 minis. I made that. I see was a mistake, mate, maybe. So come on, not IC themselves. Ow! I figured out that the
Dog the pebble.
Okay, Kusaki, listen.
Scream scrambly, scream scrunk.
this? Scrim scrambly, scrim scrunk.
This is a certified hash brown moment.
What a fucking bop.
Scrimbly, scrambly, scrunkly.
I love that one. I made it into a full song, by the way. I'm just quickly doing something. This... I've realized I've suddenly got enough commands that it actually does my head in. No, I didn't make the hash brown song, but I ended up making it into a full length. Gianni made the 10-second snippet. Then I downloaded his voice lines and then put it onto the full song.
Hey, it's the Kurger Bing. I need $150 to continue making Wampers. Ha ha, shit on floor.
Haha, shit on floor. Yeah, I did the full length thing. I put it over the song that the guy did on Gah. Which is my favorite. Favorite what? Favorite what? Okay. Oh, there we go.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now...
the 1000 one, because I know that song off
It's
by
no
heart.
games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Original remake? What's down here? Why are you guys all sad now?
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
The serious room.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art.
Unfunny!
I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to...
Thanks to the 93 biddies. God, there's so many reviews.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good,
imagine if that was your review.
Non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh goodness, this is actually quite shocking.
This is Glasswell's greatest fear.
I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley parable isn't quite as... What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening.
Oh my God.
There was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot.
They made the skip button real!
So that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you with just the... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on... Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof! Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. Oh, Stanley. You're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through.
Ow!
Okay, Kusaki, listen.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are
Oh.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end,
Bruh.
is never the end, 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 is never the
Whoa. It's so pretty. Fucking damn it. Oh. Oh. I think I can press the button again. Fuck, really? Oh, well, that sucks.
All of his co-workers were gone.
All right.
What could it mean?
Meow.
Stanley decided to go
I'll
to the
actually
meeting
go
room.
through
Perhaps
the
he had simply
fucking
missed a
right
memo.
door this time. Okay, but it's new content. I need to. Alright, I'm gonna get a poll running. Thanks for the follow, Hype J. I've never actually played the original story, so that's why I'm like, 11 people that said, all right.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Next run through. Next run through, we'll go through the other door. Is it the same thing?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark.
Nice.
And any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
What? Also, thanks for the gifts of the Hype J.
Isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising.
They're back.
Potential.
2 doors. The color red.
Great.
Great. My God, the logos. Okay, I love that one. My God, the fucking Comic Sans. The fern. It's 2 of them. E.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Stanley Parable is the prequel to the Stanley Parable 2 is the sequel to the Stanley Parable is the prequel to Stanley Parable 2 is... Oh my God. New content, new features. Two.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
The game, the name, the button that says the name of the game. What? That's new.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want?
Too
Of
big,
course,
too small,
first and
just
most
right.
obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button, which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name,
sake.
whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really
yes,
simulate
I'm
the full
Jim.
experience of this feature. Just
My name
play
isn't
along.
Jim.
I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become
I am
a person
Jim.
named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities
I am
as
Jim.
and as Jim, watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply?
Yes,
Are you
I am
really,
Jim.
truly Jim right now?
I am now Jim.
If so, then please step
Press the
forward and
button.
press the button.
Jim.
Oh my god.
You see?
I felt
What
that,
a
narrator.
thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
Jim.
Oh.
It hits even harder
Oh.
the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
What if I hit it again? I want to hit it again.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away.
No!
Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all
No!
sense of who you actually are.
Jim.
I want more Jim.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Yo, merch. I saw the new content. Dude. This t-shirt is the best new feature. QR code. Someone want to scan that for me? Where does it lead? Where does it lead? You have to do it? Alright. Alright, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Let's go. Alright. Google Lens. Is that an angle? Come on. Oh, come on, game. I can't get it. Fucking hell. Come on. Come on. Working. No, I can't get it to work. I can't get it to work on my phone. Why won't it work? Oh, StanleyParable2.com. Here we go. A sequel, huh? That's new. Okay, that worked. What? my god. Reassurance bucket, okay. Howser has redeemed.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2. Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should
I get a
be an
second
award
bucket?
if it isn't already.
Alright, I've got the bucket. Green right, I will. Shit.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
I don't...
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is. Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on. Come now, you've already made your choice. It's true that you chose badly, but we all have to move on from our mistakes.
Free achievement?
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Oh god, that's not creepy at all. Yay!
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Jump circle. Thank you for the follow, unsub zombie. Infinite hole. Oh boy, an Ubisoft game.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Hog!
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist.
Oh.
Right now, the achievement is still fully broken.
Fuck's
I'm not a
sakes.
wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Well, that was something.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet? You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
It? Ow!
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
The baby's all grown up. Bankruptcy. Alright.
This isn't Fortnite funnies.
I need to go on the jump circle, the infinite circle. The hole. In here. Get in there. You go on the infinite hole. Drinkies, hell yeah. Don't touch the rim.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
No, I think we're gonna fall for a while.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things. Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical. Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely?
I did it.
figured the hole was as deep as anyone would
There.
actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just
Okay,
call the
Kusaki,
hole
listen.
mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Alright, no worries.
Stay away.
I want to see what he says.
Stay away.
The hole's comfy. I want to stay in here.
Go suck a lemon.
Oh, fine, I'll hit the
Great.
button.
Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
I've seen all of them, haven't I?
Stay away.
Glasso, thank you for the sub for Moister Oyster, the best oyster. Hole entrance. Jump in the hole again. Again? I will. How's Poom? Good. I'm jumping in a giant hole. Fine, chat. Let's go. Whee!
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positive.
Let's go again!
Thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where...
Oh shit. No,
I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets...
He wants me to jump in the hole now.
Well, there it is. The shame of my life. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching your itch.
Have a good one, I think.
Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
That? Oh no. Oh no. I have the bucket. It's fine. I have the bucket. Thank you for the follow, Snazzy. No, I don't want to go to Brazil. Hey, Sarge.
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up this space of mine.
I'm going into the warp dimension. Hey, Creeps. Oh. Oh.
Stanley? Stanley! Stanley!
Oh, the game. All good, soft tacos. Did the game just crashed? Is it meant to do that? Is it meant to do that? It literally broke. Fuck. Damn it. What was meant to happen? Oh, Jesus. Really? Thing came up and then it just closed. Hi, Taro. Hi, doggy. Oh, wow. Woof. Fuck. By the 9. He hit the dab. Oh, shit. What do I do now? That wasn't meant to happen. Oh, that's the whole ending. Okay. Left door? No. Oh, hi, Sylvie, by the way. Oh. Oh. No worries, game. Fuck, do I have to go all the way back again? Do I lose all my progress?
This is the story. All of his co-workers were gone.
Alright, chat,
What
let's
could
go
it mean?
left.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, we'll go left. We'll come back to the new con. Left door. Back there. Left door. Back there. Left. Back. Huh. Left door. Okay, left door.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
And the best thing about a Scotch biscuit is it's for sharing. Time for naughty chocolate ripple. He's a naughty boy.
What'd you send me, Mum? Aww. Hi, Taro.
Doggy.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him, and so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code.
Have I won yet? I've had a
Sheer
couple
luck.
of different endings so far.
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
I've been playing for 2.5 hours and everything's been different every single time.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Drinkies!
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Mind control facility. This.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Oh god.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story. Trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end.
I mean, he wasn't lying to me. He told me this was going to happen, and I still did it anyway. You... Oh, God. Bye, chat.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated, as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Let's see. Stanley walked through the green. Stanley pushed the number 6.
Oh my god.
Then he pushed the number 4.
But that's where I went. Hang on, what? Um.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, Perhaps not.
What?
Sometimes these things
You better
cannot
follow
be
time
seen.
law.
But listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game.
What?
As you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let
Well, I got the squished ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, I will go the actual way he asks me to go this time. For real.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Alright, I'm going to follow the narrator this time to a T. I'll see the regular ending of this
Stepping into
game.
his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an
Roses
indication
are red, Pumas are best.
Yes?
Now Gucci, Louis, 3 buy logos, these niggas out there.
Yes! Yes!
Roses are red, Pumas are best. Yes! Yes! Thanks for the 76 biddies, Kahlua.
What could it
Oh my god,
mean?
this game is insane.
Wondered
Meow.
aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf,
Okay, Kusaki,
looking
listen.
behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so
This
the
game
boss
has been
assigned
insane,
an
dude.
extra secret pin number. 28.
Thanks for the 6 months!
I am a
But of
stupid
course,
lion.
Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
I'm not like
Bro, this is my first time ever playing this.
Pocket sand.
What was the code?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Alright, I'm gonna actually follow the narrator this time. I done a whole bunch of shit, doing dumb shit, going the completely the wrong way. I've broken the game. I went down the giant hole. I grabbed the bucket. I haven't finished the ending there because the game actually crashed for some fucking reason. You reading that 9 upside down? I am.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have
I was
the
up there
strength
before.
to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Am I looking to get all the endings? I have no idea. There's probably too many.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring
It was a
job?
spoiler,
That
yeah.
His emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
I don't know what 432 is.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this.
Do actually find out where the fuck everyone
it was
went.
not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing.
TPO, thank you for the
Stanley
raid.
stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
I did it. I finally did the regular ending once. Ah, beat the game. I got an achievement.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Puma is short for puma, as in cougar, as in mountain lion, as in Puma. It's a nickname. Haha. You're stinky. Listen to Kahlua.
I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why...
Stanley Parable. Alright, I need to do this section again because I accidentally crashed the game.
Stanley Parable 2.
2.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up.
Two
Why, there's so
fans.
many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
I need my bucket. I need my bucket. I need the bucket.
The complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical.
I need the bucket.
That it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable reassurance bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding your bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and
Presenting the Krabby Patty.
Contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting.
Hope you guys enjoyed that little
You may even
performance.
come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you
The
feel
bucket
it?
laughed.
The glow of comfort,
me
even
out.
in the face of crushing
Let me out.
despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do
Bucket.
believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Beautiful bucket. Just pick it up.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Alright, I've done the collectibles.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier
I've already done all
than
the other
Ultra
stuff.
Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and All right, have you seen everything you wanted to?
Yes.
Ready to move on now?
Creepy briefcase.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Ow! Hey, patat.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Here it
Let's go
is.
for it.
I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh.
Well,
Infinite hole.
I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they wouldn't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, Insert a few of my new features into it, tastefully of course, with respect, with care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could, but it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can make something up.
Among Us.
All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
He is absolutely indoctrinating himself. Oh. That's a really cool... Oh. I can't believe they've got, like, fucking titles for the... What the hell? Alright. Begin the game, I guess.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company...
There's the balloons!
...where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley...
Right, it's the same shit.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years
Happy
at the
12th
company
birthday,
had
step
this
niece.
happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his coworkers were gone.
Scrunkly.
What could it mean?
Yeah.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley picked up the bucket.
The bucket! I have the bucket! I have the bucket!
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly.
Okay,
to his
Kahlua,
chest.
would you recommend going left or right now? I just want your opinion. Left or right now? Left? Okay.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss... Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? that your life is so
No.
banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning
Fuck you,
comments.
broom closet. This is
Expand
my
on
bucket.
the wide variety of experiences you and the
Exactly.
bucket
We have been
shared.
together
Go
through
through each
Stanley
with
Parable
point
1
by
and Stanley Parable
Share your
2.
journal entries detailing
Fuck
the
you.
rich
I
emotional
love this
landscape
bucket.
of your feelings
Fuck
for
you
the
all.
bucket, as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
My God. Also, I've been downstairs,
Coming to
Kahlua.
a staircase,
When I went
Stanley and
downstairs,
the bucket walked upstairs to the
I did the
boss's
floating
office.
thing. Well, I went downstairs and I had... it did the... Not with the bucket. Not with the bucket. Oh, it's different with the bucket. Oh. Oh, okay.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And
The
then
bucket actually
something
changes
occurred to
everything?
Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this.
The bucket!
Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience
Where'd
without
the
the
bucket go?
psychologically grounding presence of his bucket.
No!
Now he noticed
No!
that the words were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find
My
it.
bucket!
Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Bucket, come back.
Stanley,
It's me, the bucket.
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What a fucking twist.
Mariella woke up on a
I
day
had the
like
bucket
any
in
other.
me all along. Is this bit?
Got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort.
Oh no,
and
this is
security,
different
and
too.
walked to her place of work. But on this
It's the same ending but with a bucket.
The walk was interrupted by the body of a man
Fuck's
who had
sakes.
stumbled through town, talking and
Hey,
screaming
crazy
to
wolf
himself,
heart.
and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course, he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter.
Holy shit.
But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life
kicks ass.
And she backflipped all the way to work.
She backflipped all the way to work. Oh my god. Holy shit, everything is different with the bucket. So that's what the Stanley Parable 2 is. It's bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone.
All right, let's keep
What
going.
could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was coming to a staircase. Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Bucket stickers? I've changed. Should I have gone to the right door?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once
what was
again
the code
stunned
again?
to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along?
The bucket knew.
Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Oh.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward.
No reward for collecting all of
only
these.
The intrinsic pleasure of a
The
job well
simple
done.
pleasure of
You can't
a
buy
job
that
well
sort
done.
of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Thank you, game. Thank you, Daddy. I'm referencing Pinocchio. Don't take that out of context.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do
Hi,
to keep
Riz.
himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything...
Well, what now? Because the game's just gonna do the same thing again. Isn't it?
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Kahlua, left or right? I don't know what to go. Chat, left or escape or mind control? Because I'm back here again. But I'm just going to escape with the bucket again. It's just going to be the same ending. That one's going to crush me. What now?
The lights rose on an enormous room.
Just going to be the
with
same thing
television
again, isn't it?
screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
That's just going to be the same shit again. It might be different, actually.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
That's my room. Yeah, see? It's alright, bucket. Don't cry.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one.
I don't trust anyone. I only trust the bucket. Bucket is love. Bucket is life.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Where's button 3 and 4? Where's button number 4? There's number 5. Where's 4? Riz! Wait, hang on. No, that's 1, 2. Where's number 4? Is there no actual number 4 and it's just leading him on a goose chase? I would like someone to tell me. Where is button number 4? Okay, chat, if someone knows, please tell me, because I can't find button number 4. There's button number 3. Up on the platform? Well, I can't get up there. I can't get up there. I can't get up there. That's done that to me on purpose. Alright, chat, yes or no?
When at last they came to the source of the
Off or on?
Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything.
Are you sure? Are we sure? Alright. Off for true bucket ending? That is a fair point. True bucket ending or cat? Yes. True bucket ending. True bucket ending. I had to do it to him. I wanted to see the true bucket ending.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley
okay, it's the
and
same
bucket
thing,
had defeated
but that's
their
the bucket.
greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door.
I should have clicked
on. Wanted to learn to
should have clicked
skate.
on.
Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together. with one another to lean on, to trust, to support. What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
No!
The facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Wow.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Where do I get the new content?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Among Us! Among Us!
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right, then walking to the lounge, then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired. Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home, here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home. Stanley decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as it needed to be in the lounge. Clearly, the bucket and the employee lounge shared a special connection.
Just vibing with the bucket.
Coca-Cola, espuma.
Ow.
Okay, Kusaki, listen.
All right.
But finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge. and they took the first
Okay,
open
Kusaki,
door
listen.
on their left to get back to business.
Okay, Kusaki, listen.
And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance
Scream
section
scramble,
and walked
scream
straight
scrank.
ahead to the opposite door.
Scrim scrambly, scrim scrang.
Oh, good Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
Oh.
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The
This is the
bucket
most
isn't
obnoxious
even
thing
from
I've
the
ever
original
experienced in my
Stanley
life.
Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before.
I want the bucket,
Yes,
though.
I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Alright.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
I refuse to give up the bucket.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket.
No.
That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
No. No.
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer
Destroys
does?
the bucket.
Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you.
I'm keeping the
Go ahead
bucket.
now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
I simply refuse.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or
I'm
the
not
Bucket
destroying the
Destroyer
bucket.
until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and... The Bucket Destroyer. My prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Well, that was something. Rest in pieces. Hey, Ali. Oh.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
The bucket was wrong.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Alright, I'll go to the cargo lift. Thanks, bucket.
Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here,
said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone,
said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
I will listen to the bucket. Bucket is love, bucket is life.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him. The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Do. Oh. I can. Let's see if I can. Which no.
I'm trying to get under it.
I'm gonna get eye on top of the death.
Oh. Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Bucket.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Don't listen to the loud man. Press U to go back home. Yes.
You see, he's not listening.
he's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal. It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From
Bucket!
now on, he's just going to cling to
Bucket,
this
bucket, bucket,
this
bucket, bucket.
cold, empty bucket. This sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
I'm real, don't you? Yes.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier. More capable of transporting liquid.
Shiny bucket.
Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another. Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket.
My
Why do I
precious.
feel some need to point
No one
out
can
the
take
ways
this
in
away
which
from
it's
my bucket.
so much
My
more
precious.
than just a regular bucket?
It's my precious.
Oh no. I'm having feelings.
I'm having feelings for the bucket.
No.
Oh,
What's going
God.
on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
No. It's my
Stanley,
bucket.
give me the bucket.
No.
Give it to me. Give me the bucket,
No.
Stanley.
No.
I
Fuck
need
off.
it. Give
No.
it to me now.
No.
Give it or I'll...
No, it's my bucket. No, it's my oh, I have a hot dog. Ah! Is that it?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Hang on a minute. Oh.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in?
I wish I had the bucket.
Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Yes, I wish I was here with this bucket.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game.
Fuck off!
So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named...
Nah, fuck it. You win.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought. Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone. Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone? Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear.
We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self.
The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger. Of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed.
The bucket is a war
bittersweet
criminal.
reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps, if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
It's Shang-Chi's
Never,
dad.
said the bucket.
Not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like... My God, Stanley, you did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
The fuck?
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time. The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I've been downstairs. I've been upstairs. Oh. Yeah, I just did escape with the bucket. And I also did mind control room. Oh! I've gotten 2 out of 6. Thank you for the follow, Cryo. What do you mean time? You got all the time in the world. I know I got work tomorrow. Bucket, Cryo, bucket!
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes.
We love
I
the
think I
bucket.
like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Can I go back? No. No. Fuck!
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the... But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Go down the elevator and back up. Alright. Oh, I didn't even know you could do that. That's really smart. That's very smart, Desmos. Ow. I didn't even know you could do that.
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
Oh.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over.
Keep going up and down. Okay. Let's do it. Ugh. Let's keep going.
The bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
Like, do it again? Desmos?
No, said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me.
Oh my
You
God,
and I have
again?
been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing.
But the bucket was an eldritch being. Again. Let's do it.
Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears.
Okay, this is
The whole
clearly
time,
something.
He looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all, only silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator. Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
Do I go up again? There's no dialogue this time.
Said Stanley.
There is now.
I know what to do. I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart. He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over. He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it. Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's. And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work. For months, he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been for anything in his life. This was it. One last chance to win the bucket over. One opportunity to share a true connection with a loved one.
3 again. 3 again. Congratulations, Stanley. Remember where you came from, your co-workers. Number 3, that's the magic number. Yes, it is. Oh my god. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Up again, down again. Just like Dasmu said. The dude who came up with pizza. Alright.
There was no one here. Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak, to listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over.
3.
He was unloved, uninteresting, he was a failure. And in that moment, Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously. There would be no connection, no deeper understanding.
But the number 3!
The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant. They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends. And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
Is that it?
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
So am I now stuck in this
Where are we
perpetual...
going today, the bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be... Stanley clutched the bucket tightly.
So does this mean
and entered
I'm
the
now
door
stuck in this
left.
perpetual state of having to try and find the collectibles? Yeah. Close the door ending? No. Aha! Large room, lots of boxes. Stairs, something to do with stairs. Somewhere both red and blue. Well, I know where number 4 is. Number 4 is if I keep getting the wrong door ending. Stair. That's an ending?
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never
Alright,
been
that's the
trained
last
for that.
ending, and we'll raid out after
Couldn't
this.
go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Yay! Okay. That is me for the night, everyone. I will get, the sequel is now paused. Go to menu. When I boot this up again, will it stay as the Stanley Parable 2 for now? Like, it's not going to change? Alright. Well. I may as well check. Quickly boot it up. Just so I know that I haven't lost any progress. And then, we'll try and get some more endings later on. Anyway, we're gonna go raid someone. Who should I heckin' raid? Oh no. Yep, it still says the Stanley Parable 2. Amazing. Alright. We are going to raid. Okay, they just ended. Well, I got two options. Who do you think, Mixie? Them? Who do you think? I'm not gonna say the two names out loud. Them? Or them? No one else, really. Did the watercolor? Alright. We are gonna heckin' raid. Oh, didn't I raid them the other day? Oh, they've been going for... I might raid them just because they've been going less time. They've been going for 8 hours, so they'll probably be ending soon. So I'll go for them. Alright. Heckin', we are gonna raid. We're gonna raid Sky the Shark. Heckin', why did I shout out raid message? Oh my fucking god. Here is the raid message. I gave a shout out to raid message. Are you fucking kidding me? Alright, everyone, here is your raid message. We're gonna go raid Sky. Sky is playing Sea of Thieves. We're gonna go chuck you at them. And yeah, let's do it. Thank you guys for tonight. Tonight was really, really fun. I had a good time. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Sea of Thieves, these nuts. Oh my god. Alright, guys, have a good one. Bye. Oh, I will plug 2 things first. First, follow me on Twitter. You can also follow, join the Discord, and check out my DJ sets here. Other than that, let's do this. Bye.